Everybody. See what we got going on here. I need to. Let's see what we got going. Did I put the thumbnail and put it in the folder there? Yep. All right. And now let's go ahead and look over here at the markets. Okay, so what screen am I on? Okay, Thinkorswim. Good morning, everybody. So today we have a couple of stocks up: SQL, HILS, and SQL seems to not be wanting to hold the $2, so it just popped off my scanner. HILS, and then I saw another one, XPON's down here, XPON, up 47%. Let's look down here. EDBL up 17%. We got one up here, 9,344%, but not receiving any volume. Okay, and that one, let's see, what is Combs? Combs has a 1-for-100 reverse stock split. So that's why it's not getting any, it doesn't even have any good news. It just did a stock split. Anyway, let's actually look into some of this news though. HILS is one that I kind of like because of the lung cancer news. Lung cancer showed greater tumor repression in clinical studies. It's okay. It's receiving 14 million shares in pre-market. So I think that's gonna be one to watch on today. Um, XPUN doesn't really. Let's see what kind of news does it have. XPUN shares trading higher after company announced it has been selected by Cube Series as the exclusive supplier of lithium ion batteries. Okay, that's a little bit of heat too. So we'll watch XPUN as well. Let me see. And both of those are low flows. We'll see how low they are in just a minute. I'm gonna go ahead and look them up. I did take one trade yesterday on HPCO, and I'll come over here to Street Smart Edge. And so HPCO, I saw it come down, and I bought this dip right here. You can see on the hour chart. Bought this dip right here, right at the 129 was my average with 1,000 shares in here. And it ripped for me. I took most of the profit before it crossed VWAP because I didn't know if it could hold. I mean, I was up $200 and I was like, I mean, that's a good day. I'll take 200. And I held 25 shares of it. So it continued to rip, and on that last 25 shares I made $40. So I was like, whatever, no, it was more than 40. It was $60 on that last one. But I was just taking along the way, taking. I sold like the last of it right up at the top. And me and Donnell, we had a good discussion in Discord about this stock, about the ridiculousness of the news on this stock, the Snoop Dogg weed type news. And I was like, man, this thing, I know it's ridiculous, but I think it's gonna move, you know. And if you're not a part of the Discord, this is what I'm talking about. This is where we had our conversation yesterday, where I originally started calling out HPCO. It was the first thing I called out at 8:59 a.m. yesterday morning. And Donnell said, yeah, I'll pass. And then we kept on talking. I was like, yeah, but that and G-Sun are the only things I'm seeing. you know, and we talked about it, and I was calling out where I was looking to get in. 225 was the it's funny because that was the initial rip, and it also came and settled back on the 225 area, which is I bought right above the 225, and I had already calculated out what I wanted the winner, or about what I wanted the winner to be, you know, a good 50-cent move with the range that it was showing. But yeah, that's how the Discord works. And you know, we definitely we're all over that one yesterday. Uh, what else? What else? Let's go over here to. Oh, I didn't even drop the Discord link. I'm tripping. Let me drop this Discord link. Invite. Drop that over there. So if you guys want to check out the Discord, great. Let's see. It is 8:08. We have the pretty much the tops that we want to see. SQL was a previous mover. It did have a gap up, but I don't see any catalyst for it on today. Don't see any catalyst for it on today. So, and plus it's struggling with that $2 level. I think HILS is going to be my top, the one that I really want to watch. It's got the lung cancer catalyst, or XPUN, which is got the lithium ion catalyst. So one of those two. But XPUN, look at this volume. 2 million shares in the volume versus how much? 15 million shares in the volume. So what we're looking for is range and volume. What's making that big range? What has shown a strength? Some of these gaps, you know, it's kind of hard to tell where the strength is, but like with HPCO yesterday, it wasn't hard to tell. We saw strength right out of the open. Boom, that big bright green candle right out of the open, and then it got halted down. And when it got halted down on the Discord, I was like, yeah, it's go time. When I saw it, let me see when that was. Oh yeah, right here, right here, right here. So yesterday at 10:55, I said, "Oh my God, it's dropping. LOL needs to break 250 before power hour." It came down and settled right over this 225 coming into lunchtime ish power hour. It was 11:07 a.m. and I was looking, and I said, "Hey, looking better and better for power hour." And Donnell came in. He was like, "Hey, I see it pushed and flushed as I was leaving." And I was like, okay, yeah, now it's nothing but 60-40 plays down here under the bottom. We don't want 50-50 plays. 50-50 plays get you crushed. We want something that's a little bit better, you know, 70-30, 60-40, 80-20. That's what we're looking for. But yeah, that's the Discord. And we'll come over here to EDBL was one. I don't think it had any kind of great news on TOS scans. Nah, it didn't have great news. We'll get rid of that one. So we'll be watching. And oh, the last thing that I called out on this thing was, I think this thing is gonna either gap up or gap down. This thing gapped down hard. I mean, from the close up here at 448 all the way back down here to the 127s, that is a hard gap down. Hard gap down. So definitely leaving that one alone today. It's back under $2, so I don't really touch them under $2. I let them die. And that's why I like to be out cash by the end of the day. And I'm going to go ahead and get rid of SQL unless it can break that $2. My focus is HILS or XPUN. They got the best news on the day. Let's see. And let's look back over this news one more time on HILS. Top volume mover over $2. A little bit of range. All right, so this morning, it says in KRAS, in a KRAS G12C mutated cell line, Hillstream Biopharma demonstrated significantly greater tumor inhibition combining whatever that drug is with whatever that other thing is. So we're gonna see who's gonna be the winner on today. Will it be HILS or Xpun? One of these are going to pay me today. Both of them are good prices, you know. Both of them are pretty good prices. You know, I thought my mic was muted this whole time. I was about to say, oh my goodness, I said all that and been muted. Okay. But yeah, let's get it. And I just pop the scans up there just in case anything else pops up before the open. But right now it is 8:12. We have about 15 minutes to the bell, and HILS is sticking out to me. It is speaking my language. Low. Oh, I forgot to look at the floats. What are the floats over here? HILS. I mean, how can you trade a low float if you don't know if it's a low float, right? Low float, 3.89 million in the float with high insider holdings on this one. Over 50%. I like it. So I will definitely be watching this one hard for any kind of dip buying opportunities. And then what's the other one? Where did it go? Xpun. Xpun coming in here. Good morning, Donnell. Xpun coming in here. Float of 4.48 million. Look at that. Over 50% held by insiders. Now, the other day there was a stock called out that was CELZ, and it had a high institutional. Well, actually, let me take that call. I just got a call. I don't want to. Let me make sure. Let me see what he's got. Give me 1 second. All right. Back at it. 8:15. What was I looking at? I was looking at the floats on this is Xpun. Oh, I was about to look at CELZ from the other day, and why I was like very skeptical of it, because when I went to the statistics on CELZ, well, what did I see? I saw that the insiders, look at this insider holding. Who believes in this company? Only 2.54% insider holding. I'm like, I don't know if that's something I want to be a part of. And with that being that low, and then the institutions having 9.98%, and we saw how it traded during the day. It traded in a very tight range all day with CELZ. And I'll show you the one I'm talking about here. HILS is also going up. CILZ. I like to see the insiders with majority holding. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. Insiders with majority holding. Because if the insiders believe in the stock, or if they don't believe in the stock, let's say if the insiders are ready to dump, well, guess what? That's good for the shorts. It's going to give you range, And if it has volume, it'll give you a lot of range and volume to that direction. So if it's going up and insiders believe in it, it'll go up more, you know, that because the insiders are holding. But yeah, I'm getting all kinds of messages through here. But yeah, let's focus in on these two for today. HILS, of course, I'm dip buying. So my strategy, I'm waiting for the strength of the longs to stop, and I want the shorts to win so I can kind of gauge my entries. Oh, the other thing that I wanted to show you guys from yesterday, the reason I took that trade that I did take on HPCO is because of this 15-minute chart. So of course I do my entries out based off the 15-minute chart. I saw this thing rip from wherever, whatever, 126 up here to the 345s, and I took note of this area right here. This area was kind of like a gap up area, what looks like 215 to 232, and all of this previous resistance here. Now that resistance was the only resistance that I saw looking back at the charts, because it had just broke a new high and it really was untested ground. So I said, okay, I'm going to give it a try if it can hold this level right here. This level right here of support. And then I put like a little zone under here, 217, 215-ish area, right? And I was waiting and waiting and waiting. And I also was looking at my hour chart, waiting for this candle to close. During that time, this big red candle was what I was seeing. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna wait for this candle to close. And then the next one opened, and I said, okay, if I can see it re-establish this bottom here of this candle, I'm gonna enter. And so this was my support on the hour candle that I wanted to see it come back above. It went down there, touched like the 219s, and I was scared. And so I didn't take it, and it came back up to the 229 right there at that bottom, and that was my buy right there. And I got a nice little takeout spot from that 229 up to the top. But anyway, back to HILS, looking for zones of buying that I can kind of take part in. Good morning, GD. Good morning, Drifter. Appreciate that. Yeah, make sure you hit that like button. If you're not subscribed, you can consider subscribing. My strategy is pretty much dip buying. So if you're into buying low or into kind of looking at those low buying areas, that's what I'm into. We have traders from across the board though. We have scalpers, breakout traders. We have everybody out here. But the great thing is two things. You can find volume and range in all over the market. We specifically are searching for it in the low float area. So stocks, if you're looking at stocks and you see us be like, oh yeah, everybody's over here, there's a lot of volume over here, we're doing that for a reason. We want to know where the people are. Where are the people and where's the range? Look at HILS continuing up. So it's getting away from the $2. I do like that, holding over that 2. It has a previous bottom here on the hour chart of the 184. And let's also, we already know it's low float, and we already know the insider holding is above 50%. So it's got a lot of insiders on their holding. We want to see if there are any levels on the level 2 that are interesting down here. We see a 10,000 share position here at the 215s, and we'll take note of that at the 215 draw. And actually, before we come to the hour chart, let's go to the daily chart on HILS and see what this daily chart looks like, because this daily chart had it's above the 184s. Let's look back a little bit. So it looks like it does give back profit. Look at these wicks. This is something you have to take into consideration. 1, 2, 3, multiple times of giving back that profit on big rips. So this may be a day for breakout traders, because with this, I don't know if I'm going to be willing to buy a dip on this kind of action. Maybe I'll play the backside of the move, maybe for a little quick profit, but I don't know if I'm going to hold a dip on this one. All right, so let's jump back over to the hour chart. Over here, we got about 9 minutes to the bell on HILS. We have a high up here of the 244s right now, and I really don't want to put a high in there because I don't know if that's the high, but I do see support around the 179. And let me see what's this down here. Well, if it goes under 2, I'm not gonna touch it anyway. But 182s is where it's holding. It does have a little bit of good news on HILS about the cancer. Was this the one with the cancer pharmaceutical? Yeah, lung cancer, I believe was this one. All right, and then the other one, which is much lower volume. Remember, we need range and volume. Volume on XPunt is 2 million. So if we think about the competition here, HILS is going to have to fail hard for XPunt to do anything, right? So I'm going to focus where the volume is. Look at that difference in volume. There are people and eyes and money over here right now. That's where I want to be. Let's see. Jumping back over to the scans, the number 2 on the top volume mover. Remember, this scanner is scanning for things above $2 with high volume, right? So the number 2 on the list is Tesla. Number 3, good morning, Lori Lee. Number 3 is Lyft, Xpunt. So we want to see these low floats take higher positions, but now Xpunt is getting pushed down the list. We got competitions with it. And of course, there is not really a direct correlation with the large caps to the small caps, but there is a direct correlation between the SPY and the overall market in the large caps. So usually when the SPY is ripping, or if the SPY chooses a strong direction, I don't know. The low floats don't really do everything that you want them to do, because so much attention is on those large caps that are following the SPY making that strong move. But today I see that the SPY is at the 405s. 405s, we've been watching this one for a while. It has been kind of forming an uptrend there, holding this trend line, coming back down and testing right above the 400. I got lines everywhere. We've been watching this one for a while. I've been watching it since way back here when I made this first downtrend, and we're seeing a shift from that downtrend into an uptrend coming into this February month, second month of the year, where we're seeing it kind of is in consolidation, but has not chosen if it wants to break or whatnot. Oil also popped up as well. It has been holding this level that I've also been watching. It was at the 90s, fell down here to the 70s, 75 level. It has been consolidating and chopping around in this level for a while, right above the 70s. I don't know if it wants to break. I don't know if it's going to go ahead and break out of the 82s, but it has definitely been consolidating in this level as well. We have about 6 minutes to the bell. All right, so let's jump back over here to HILS. HILS. Okay. Seeing XPun go on and make its way on down. But both of these are looking okay. But even if XPun opens up with big range, I still am very wary of it because of this volume, that lower volume. I think HILS will have better continuation. About 4 minutes to the bell now. Working our way in there. Tesla had this low of the 100, made a 100, and over the past month, made a run from 100 all the way back up to 200. Very volatile. Coming back into that 200 moving average. Seems like every time it gets there, something occurs around that 200 moving average and causes it to do some reversal. But we'll see. you can't really say for sure that that'll happen again. It may break back up or whatnot, but we'll see. Right now we are focused on the low floats. Bed Bath and Beyond went on down through the floor. Meta had a little gap up here to the 192s, came down a little bit. Lori says HILS will have sell off today. I think it was pumped hard in big YouTubers Discord. Did not know that. Well, we'll see. We'll see, and that's why we kind of let that first hour play out to see how the shorts react to it. If the shorts get a very strong win out of the open, I want to be a part of that covering. I want to go ahead and be a part of that covering. Um, if they have a big fall off so big that it's like a halt down and just going on through the floor, I don't know. I may just let it play by itself. But right now, it's got the most volume on the day, so it's gonna need to fail for anything else to come up here. I mean, it's literally beating out everything else with 18 million shares traded on it. I do know earlier we had something that fell below. I think it was SQL that fell below the $2. But I mean, still, it's no competition. It's got 16 million shares on it, and I'm like, that's okay, but look at this. Look at this pattern on SQL. Look how tight this pattern is. It's got to make a lot of decisions before anything else, and then it definitely needs to hold up to $2. So I don't know. I'm just gonna stick with this one. We're gonna see if this sell-off is going to happen. See how it holds up the $2 level. And it also has these body candle, top of these body candles here of the 203s. I want to see if that becomes some kind of support as well, or if they can go ahead and force it back into this previous red candle. All right, so we have 2 minutes until the open. Okay. Anyway, hopefully you guys have been having a good week. I took 2 trades this week. Both of them were green. Um, and you know, I just want to replicate. That's all I want to do. I just want to replicate the same thing over and over again, and take profit from the market. You know, I've been instituting this new dip buying strategy. I started in December doing it, and it's going good. It is a lot of patience and a lot of overcoming FOMO, because when I see those things ripping, 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 I'm like, oh my gosh, should I buy now? Should I buy now? And you know, sometimes it's just like so much temptation, but I'm just waiting patiently. Where is the dip? Because in my mind, I'm like, okay, if I'm alone, where are the loans that are making the most money on these trades? Where are they? I want to be with them. The ones that are making the most money are the ones that you see in those dips. You be like, dang, man, I wish I was with them, man. Dang. I stop wishing. I'm gonna be with them, you know. All right, HILS. So we got to open here. This top, let's see, 225. We'll see how it tests that $2. Got 20 cents from that $2. Lori says, HILS got pimped 2 days ago. Okay, nice. So we're going to see what kind of treatment it gets today. No, I'm kidding. I see you said pumped. All right, let's see. Let's see. HILS coming up here. Xpun is also red. Red, red. Low volume. HILS. So we can go ahead and put, well, I'll put it in here. Let's say right under the 250 is resistance. and the body candle there was body of this candle is a two right at the 225-ish, right above the 225-ish. Let's see if the shorts can come in and win this thing. It's one of the few that actually has catalysts on the day. Let me look through and see if anything new popped up here with catalyst and volume and range. Let's see, public offerings. A lot of public offerings here. Let's see. Oh, I don't see anything else but those two. Okay. All right. HILS coming up there and testing that resistance, but I think it can push through. Like I said, today may be more of a breakout traders day. Looking back at that daily chart on HILS, we saw that it likes to give back profits. So just be quick. Just be quick. Does have high insider holding though, so I mean it could definitely move over 50%. So that was a little touch up to the high of the 249, right at the 250. 250 break. Okay. Will those shorts be able to cave this thing in? Almost 30 million shares traded on it, 114% up. There's no way eyes are not on this thing. No way. Anybody opening up their scans, this will be the first thing they see. And FOMO is real. Up to 60s now. So that's a 10 cent, or no, that's more than 10 cent. 43 up, like a 20 cent rip there over the highs. This is trading right now like a breakout traders type stock, you know. Nice. Nice, Donnell. Well, you know, we always leave a little bit of money on the table, but you know, looking at the circumstances of how the history of this one, I think you played that well. Nice little breakout over the top. Take your profit because you never know when the shorts will come in attack. Uh, Actually, let's check the level twos and see if there's any levels of interest up here. So looks like we got level 2, 265 has 15,000 shares. 270 has 21,000 shares. So it's a little bit of space between those two big sizes. There, 270 to 265 could be a little bit of a wall. We'll add that as a note. 270. Add note 270, 265. Got how much was that? 12 plus 16, about 28,000 shares together. And I just say in between 28K between 265, 270. And then on the bid side, we have 16,000 down there at the 240s. And we have 26,000 at the 215. So that could be a level of interest for me, right above that $2 if it can hold. So I like those low areas. 215. Nice little wall down there for maybe a quick bounce. Okay, so let me take note of all this. 240 has 16K. And this isn't just concrete. Of course, people can take their orders off of the books. These are not orders that are filled. These are orders that are sitting on the books. So you got to take it with a grain of salt. It can change at any time. You can't make that concrete. 240 on the bid. And then 215 with 26, 25K, 215. And then 212s with 12K. So definitely quite a wall down there under the 250s, or under the 215s. Okay, and now let me go back over to this one. And this was on the ask. So we'll see where it wants to test. If it makes it to any of those levels, especially the low ones. X-Pun going down to the graveyard. Remember, it's the range and the volume. People just not into that one. SQL popping up on my scans. SQL popping back up over the $2. We will keep it on watch as well. Up 150%. But this range is really, really flat. Like, it's really flat. I don't like the way it looks. I mean, if it pops, it'll be unpredictable. But it, up 150%, 23 million shares traded on it in direct competition with HILS. And if it goes back under 2, hey, it'll pop back off. HILS had a top up here of the 164 for resistance. SQL going back to that too. Going back. All right. A lot of times I remember when Daniel B and One Life would be in there, they'd be like, "Is there nothing else to look at?" I'm like, if I look at something else, I may miss my entries. I'm like, I just get me 3 to 4 good stocks and watch them. 3 to 4 good stocks that meet the criteria. Does it have a catalyst? Is it showing range that I could possibly get a good move out of, right? Is it showing me the volume and competing on the day? And if it is, I will watch it until the end of the day, until I see my setup. I'm good. Sometimes looking at, you continue to bring on new stocks, you get up to like 10 stocks. You're just looking too much. You just look in that moment, you should be like, you know what? If there's no focus in the market and there's people all over the place trading, I may need to wait for something to decide to be the winner and not just jump into something if it's that many things moving. SQL continuing to do his thing, but I think I would stay away from SQL. I mean, it I don't know that thing. And then what? The news on it as well. What was the? It says SQLL stock rockets on heavy volume again in wake of 2-year development pact with the FBI. Okay, let's actually read into that. Let's read into that and see what that's talking about. Okay, so packed with the FBI on SQL shares, more than doubled. Sequencing company's announcement earlier in the week about a product development agreement with the Federal Bureau of Investigation. The stock skyrocketed 128% on volume of 16.1 million shares pre-market. Okay. Tuesday, sequencing module So what does it do? What? Oh, let me see. After the company announced a 2-year cooperative research and development agreement, CRADA, CRADA, with the FBI, okay, to elevate or evaluate the forensic capabilities of direct RNA sequencing using sequels, molecule sequencing platform. Okay, so I said SQL. I'm not referring to the actual databasing programming language. I mean, whatever this word is. Seek LLs. It looks like SQL though. After that rally, the stock had tumbled 45% over the past 2 days. Stock's early gain on Friday would put it on track for highest close in 13 months. Okay, whatever. That's a lot of hoopla. It's under $2, so somebody's giving up on it. And if it's going to be trading sideways like this, I really don't want to be wasting money on that. I'd rather just focus on what's winning. And then on the daily chart over here, if you look at SQL on the daily chart, this $2 is becoming quite a bit of resistance. The previous high was a 241, made a lower high today at the 216. Of course, the day has not closed yet, isn't done, but the probability that it's going to take off with HILS up here is kind of low. And so I want to also stick with my rules as well. It's struggling above $2. I bought a lot of them like this and they end up failing on me. So I'm like, nah, I'm good. I keep money in my pocket today. Xpun coming down. Only up 27%, so that's not going to be something that's going to catch the eye of the masses. I want to focus in on that 100% gainer there. Has anything changed out here on the level 2s? 225 has 12,000 shares there. It is way too close to be entering on that because it could definitely break that very easily. Only 10 cents away. The initial candle, though, the move was from the 218 up to the 266. 218 up to the 266. So that's about 50 cents on that initial move. If we look back here, and what I'm looking for is the best move. What was the best move during pre-market that actually happened? So this one was 119 up to the 211. So 119 up to the 211. Let's see. Minus 211. 119 up to the 211 is 92 cents. So if I'm trying to capture, like the math that I did yesterday in the Discord, if I'm trying to capture 25% of the move, what is 25% of this 92? That is 23 cents. So I need to watch this dip and see how this thing, if it's going to close up its range and the range is going to get small up here to the top side, it may get a little dangerous. But I mean, if I can get half of it, if I can get 10 cents, 15 cents, you know, I'll be good with that on a Friday closing up a green week. But I don't want to look for, I really don't want to set my expectations too much further above this 23 cents off a bottom dip. And that's what I did yesterday. The calculation was just a little bit different because SQL is popping back up. SQL, I might just leave it up there since it keeps on playing. But let's look at the best that is showing us through the pre-market. 177 up here to the 230s, right? So 177, 230. Oh, my bad. Gotta get the initial first. 230 minus 177. 53 cents. So if I want to capture 25% of this move, what is that? 53 times 25. It's about 13 cents. I don't want to set my expectations too much further than that 13 cents. If it gives me 13 cents, great. Take it. You know, get out, run. I'm good. That's all I need is 25% of the move, a quarter of the move. You know, very low expectations for these trash stocks. HILS, our candle turning red now under the 225s right now. We'll see if it can pick up or will it start to close this range in here. Donnell says HPCO is to a halt to the upside. Let's look at that. HPCO halt to the upside. Okay, 15 million shares. Yeah. Let's see if any news popped out on HPCO. Oh, it's still under $2 anyway. I can't trade it anyway, so it's got to get over $2. But we'll see if any news has popped out over there. HPCO. So HPCO is look at this candle yesterday compared to this lower. This is insane. Nice little low high there. High of the 219. Right in here. And then low of the 160s. But like I said, it's going to have to hold over there too. Did it get any new news today? So we see, oh, it's got a public offering coming out. Oh, of $1.50. Ooh. And that's the other thing. You never know if something is halting up or halting down. Like when we saw CELZ go into the halt midday, it had no motion. It was still, and then it just halted. You didn't know if it was halted up or down. And the direction going into the halt does not mean that that's the direction it's gonna be out of the halt. It could just go straight down. It could be halting going up and open up $5 down, and you like, bruh. But yeah, HPCO, we'll watch it for the open. Let me see when it's supposed to be unhalting. HPCO halted at 9:44:47. So it should be opening up here in like a minute. If it's a regular halt, I don't know, but I'm gonna wait and see. It's still down 57% on the day. Has a lot of competition overhead with HILS and even SQL, even though it's not meeting my criteria, it's still 32 million shares in the volume. Lived. Okay. So yeah, we see it opening here. 184 right at that VWAP level. Has a bottom here of the 154, and I guarantee you what people did, they were playing off this it didn't even test there. I don't know what they're playing off of, but yeah, I'm not gonna play that game. HILS coming on down, looking beautiful. Let's actually go and look at some of these daily charts. So right now on TOS, HILS nice and red on the day, coming down, has a $2 here. And we'll see how it holds that level. And then the other one was SQ coming on down as well. So I don't know which one wants to be the one. And I don't know, like I said, the dip buys on these will be a little bit more dangerous, or not really on this one, but HILS, because it gives back that profit so much. I mean, that's the only thing that kind of scares me on HILS, that profit that dropped there. And then SQL. Any other low floats that are playing today? Not really. Okay. Okay. So a lot of information gathering today. Xpun Doesn't have any huge sizes out here. See, and that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for, especially with things over $2, 10,000 shares sitting out there is a lot. And if it gets over 10,000, like 20,000, 30,000 shares on a higher price stock, I know that's a level of interest. And so I'm like, okay, let me take notes. Where are these people interested? And the bigger the level, I mean, the bigger the reaction can be sometimes. But with this one, with the range that it's showing us, it popped down here out of the open 236 from 270, so that's 40 cents. And we did the we looked at the best that it did out of all. What was this? 202 up to the 313s, right? So 202 to the 313s. We'll just say $2. $2 to 313. And that's $1.13. So what's 25? What's 25% of that? We'll say times whoa, times 25. It's looking like 28 cents, right? And so if I was a short and I did this calculation, I was like, oh man, I think I can get 28 cents because this thing has no catalyst or whatnot. And I'm gonna try to just buy a high and get 28 cents. That could have worked out. It may continue to work out because there's no catalyst. So as a long looking at this, I'm like, I'm not in love with Xpun. Even though it had that ion battery news, it may be something that moves next week. So I will keep it on watch or just keep it in mind that it was something that was moving. But today is just not getting any love on the Friday. HPCO just not doing much. That original candle was 5 million shares traded. The secondary candle was 1 million something. Not great. SQL diving on down there, making sure that it stays under. And now HILS getting wiki. So not really making a decision, but it is making a range, and I don't like range bound stocks with small range. I can trade within a range, but it needs to be big range. If it's doing like 50 cents to 80 cents to $1 in that range, good. I just buy support, get the quick, and get out. But with this, that range is closing down, so we need range and volume. HPCO. Okay, let's see. Don't forget to hit that like button. And if you aren't subscribed yet, consider subscribing if you enjoy stock market content. If you are a low float trader, or if you're just here, just kind of trying to find your place in the market, where you are, kind of puzzle piecing your way into the market. Where do you fit? Trying to find a strategy or whatnot, you know. Definitely you can be a part of our Discord. I did drop that link in the chat. I guess I could drop it again. And after the streams, we do a lot of continued analysis in the Discord as well. Kind of watching throughout the day, especially when those sweet dips come into play. Oh man, I'm crazy about the dips now, man. It's been it really changed the way that I thought about the market for real. By getting in on those dips. Cause man, those breakouts were tearing me a new one. Those breakouts were really I don't know, man. I just don't have the heart for it. Like Donnell, he's got the heart for it. I buy the breakout, my heart explodes. But yeah. All right. So a little bit of indecisive back and forth on it. Still green on the day. HPCO not breaking that 2 yet. Okay, let's also take note of what the SPY is doing. The SPY is actually holding this little bottom here, 405s. Tried to reclaim. Looks like it retested the body of this candle, 407. I don't know if it's going to continue down, but this does look like the start of a downwards move on Friday. Of course, Fridays are usually sell off days anyway. We may see some more sell off there. And then NQ as well, doing pretty much the same type move. Got this little nice downward motion there. HILS. Very weird movement here. Man, if this thing had more volume, it would look great. If it had like, I don't know, 10 million, 12 million shares traded, oh, or 20 million at this point, oh, this would probably look great. But I'm just gonna leave that one on the back burner. Look and keep it on watch for next week. Okay. We're getting a retest of what looks like the 250s. On the hour chart, we still have quite a bit of a wick that is trying to kick into. But like I said, this one seems like something that would be for breakout traders for today before it gives up and goes on down. Has not dipped yet on the 15-minute, just been grinding higher in a very tight range. Has 15,000 shares there on the level twos at the 220. So 220 is still very close for it to be that big of a size there. So let me see. And that's on the bid. Okay, starting to get a little bit of back and forth action here under the 250s. Still green on the day, so could push up. If we look over here on TOS, we can see the body of this candle is the 225. So really just, I guess that will be the backstop there, 225, and see if how it holds that level. If you're buying the breakouts on this one. And then the overall, like the give up on this stock moment is probably the 215 breakdown. We do not want to see a return to those levels. But as of right now, what is that? 225, about a 10-cent risk. And you just set your stop and be like, okay, well, if it wants to grind higher, great. If it does, rip down, 10 cents. It's 10 cents, Or you can manage the risk however you want. I mean, that's just a suggestion. I don't know if 10 cents will kill your account. Like if you're taking 10,000 shares, you probably want to be careful with that 10 cents. The good thing about the calculation that I was showing you guys about the pre-market move is it's valid all day. It's gonna work all day. All you do is go to the best move that it's had in pre-market, calculate the movement and what you can expect to get. And right now, it seems like the range is getting smaller and smaller and smaller here on these movements. So wondering, are the shorts going to come and punch their ticket? I should have put a note of what the calculation was because I forgot what it was on this one. 214, 119. 119, 95 cents. So 95 cents, what is 25 of that? Okay, 23 cents, 23.75. And I will put a note of expected. Let's see, expected. Okay, so now I got that out there. SQL, of course, doing exactly what we thought, getting under the two and becoming a death trap for loans. Loans get in there, they're like, man, this is cheap, it can go up. And then they get their shoes taken. HPCO lost all its volume in these last two candles. Looks like first candle was 5 million, second candle 2 million, and now barely moving there. Xpun had a low of the 235s, but does not have the volume to keep up with everything else. Let's actually look at the top 10 volume movers. We have still HILS leading. We have Tesla catching up with HILS very quickly at 198. Even though it's red on the day, the volume is what I'm looking at. What eyes are there? And so it's got a little bit, but it's catching up. Lyft also coming up the charts. And then after that, that's a big drop off to Uber, which is only 14 million, Ford 12 million, BBD 12 million. So big drop off of those top three. Xpun had a little range in here. Looking at the daily chart, gave back profits twice. Big profit give back. I'm thinking next week it could be interesting for Xpun, but I don't know, man. Coming into the end of this week looking like this, I don't know. You just have to wait to what happens next. Looking on here on Xpun, we can see it's getting a little bit of buying pressure above this, but again, the volume's low. Don't want to fail to FOMO. If it opens up next week, I'll be interested. But as of now, I'm just gonna take it off. And I may take off SQL since it seems to just be chopping around. Now it may have a unpredictable explosion, but I don't like that. And when they're unpredictable, you'll be sitting around all day looking for that unpredictable explosion. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. So I don't really want to go for that. Anyway, do you guys have any swing positions that you're interested in or that you're currently holding, looking for higher or lower that you have taken part in this last week? 215. So yeah, that thing's got a lot of dipping before I'm interested. Very choppy movement. Actually trading like it's not the highest volume mover on the day, which is scary. Xpun popping up there very quickly. Popping over 249 out of that little dip. Bottom was a 235. So, I mean, it does have catalyst. That's one thing I can give it. It does have catalyst even though it doesn't have volume. Lithium I actually let me read into that. What was going on with those lithium ion batteries that it was showing me while we got a little bit of time. Okay, so Xpun says selected. Okay, this is it. And that's not even a lot of news. Lithium ion batteries for ultra lightweight foldable Campler. What? Am I reading that wrong? Campler? Wait. My vocabulary is so limited. Campler? Shares are trading higher after the company announced it has selected lithium batteries for ultra lightweight foldable Campler. Boy, I gotta read more. I don't know what that thing is. Okay, whatever. If I don't know what it is, I definitely ain't trading. I'm good. They're making batteries for something that don't exist. I'm good. Donnell says swing trade. Xpun made 116 per share last night. Had after hours news yesterday. Yeah, I don't know what a Kempler. Maybe that's some slang that I'm just not familiar with, but I don't know. But it is the next best looking thing on the day behind HILS. I wish HILS would just fall. Please. I just want to play the backside of the move, man. Wow. That was a 30-cent rip there. And what was the calculation on this one? The best one we saw from aftermarket was, I don't know, to take this one. This one was pretty much the last. What was this? 4 o'clock. It's one of these. We gotta take calculations from one of these two because these are the best two. So let's see, 204 up to 356. 356. 152 times that 25%, 38 cents on the biggest candle. So maybe between 38 cents and what is this one? 304 up to the 2 or 365. 304, 365. 38. So about 65 cents there. 65 cents times this 0.25, about 16 cents. So 16 to 38 cents there could be expected. So we'll save that as a note. 16 to 38 cents. That initial rip there was what got down to the 236s. Didn't really have a obvious level of buying on this chart. Let me see if it had an obvious level of buying on the other chart. I guess the 200 moving average was the only thing that it really got down to. I guess that was the fire in the stock there, 240 back up there to the 270s off the 200 moving average. But that's really not support. So I would love to see it form some actual support somewhere that's obvious. Because just not seeing it right now. That 200 moving average is an indicator, but not real support to me. But yeah, 16 to 38%, 38 cents. And this move right here was from the 250 up to the 295. Best move during the intraday. 250, 295. 45 cents. And what would be 25 cents of that? Or 25% of that? 11 cents. Definitely bringing down the expectations there. Okay. And of course, you can always adjust the percentage of the move that you want, but you have to understand that you can't be too greedy. If you're trying to capture 100% of the move, it's going to be very, very hard. Even 75% of the move is hard. 50% of the move is hard. 25% is kind of where I've seen for me that works pretty well. That's why you see me do, hey, what's 25% of this move? HILS threw a wick up there to the 267s ish. And now looking like it's finally getting some short pressure. Is it lunchtime? I see red. I see shorts coming in there. Woo. Love it. Let's go ahead and do a toe touch. All right, so let's go ahead and get rid of some of this. Came back to the body, so that's 225. And we'll see what kind of support holds down here. The hour candle will be closing in about 15 minutes. Can it open up to the downside? Get a good, nice dump. X-Pun going back red on the day. Still low volume. Was not able to hold up much. Indecisive candle there. And that's another thing that I realized. Indicators, they can work, but nothing works better than true support or resistance. Like if it's actually support there, that thing's gonna rip from that spot. Indicators, it may have a pop, but a rip, I mean continued candles off of that level, probably some real support somewhere back down the line. Okay, X-Pun giving everything back down to the downside there. Lori says, I see blood. I see blood. That's what I want to see in the water, man. Let's see blood. We are piranhas. This is a frenzy. Okay, so this thing is really, really closing down its range. I mean, I really thought it was going to go ahead and dump a little bit for us. And look at, and this is another thing in my rules that I try to avoid. Sometimes I get caught in FOMO. I really try my best to stay away from these that are down here. Let me see, where is it? Consider, it was, maybe I took that rule off. I don't know, but it's in my head. It's in my head that when the competition is doubling and tripling the volume of a ticker that looks okay or looks kind of good, just leave it alone. Like, not enough eyes are there. This thing has HILS has 67 million shares. So let's see how many times that goes into there on Xpun. So let's see, 67 divided by Xpun's little 8, or we could just call it 9, divided by 9. It is 7 times the volume of Xpun. So that's why I'm like, I'll just leave Xpun to the wolves or sheep, or I don't know what to leave it to, but I can't do it. I can't do it, man. I believe that there's a lot more at stake with me trading IHILS. But with the way that this range is closing down, it's trading within the pennies, I'm losing faith on it as well. Losing faith, man. Any other catalyst popping out on Friday? NG. KPX. RX. Not seeing. Yep. Tesla catching up quite quickly over here. Only 10 million. Well, I mean, it keeps HILS continues to get 10 million more every time Tesla gets 10 million. So we're just watching, but I'm thinking HILS may just give up, but it will be the only thing that I'll be willing to trade today. Coming back, we can look at the daily chart. Oops. The daily chart, we had said, okay, this was the point where we were like, okay, if it goes red here at 225, this could get going bad, right? And the final out would be that 15. So at this point, this would be a 10-cent risk here. Well, it's popping back up now. It would be a 10-cent risk here off of the bottom of the 215 if it's going to get going higher. But with the way that it's closing up, it's just, taking all the juice away, man. Is it worth the squeeze? We see a lot of days where we miss things, but we usually miss things because it's not obvious. And right now with HILS, it's just not obvious what it wants to do. Does it want to dive? It keeps pulling red to green moves, green to red moves. All of these moves, it's just not obvious. And so we just let the sheeple take it and let them get abused until the big money wants to make a move on it. And in my case, make a move to the downside, drop that thing. 20 cents off the $2. The SPY is also up over here. SPY is going up to 408. So we'll see if Tesla coming back above $200. So we're seeing the larger caps come into play here, following that SPY, getting more volume, catching up. And that's what we don't want to see on a Friday. Because if this thing loses its strength, the large caps are going to take over on the day. All right, well, I got about 15 minutes left on the stream. I'm probably gonna stay away from HILS until it's gonna have to get killed by the shorts. But the problem is it's so close. I mean, if the shorts really kill it and they drop it like 50 cents, it'll be under $2, and I'll be like, yep, out of my wheelhouse. So I won't be taking a trade. If they can hold the two, or if it's a fake, then again I take the risk of giving back profits on the week. So I'm like, too many good things happen during each week to be wasting money. Too many good things happen during the week to be wasting money on things that may not show up for me. I show up for the ticker, but if it doesn't show up for me, I feel like I've been cheated. I'm like, nah, bro. I believed in you. I put my money on the line, and you did this to me. You took my shoes and my shirt off my back. I gotta sell the wheels off my car. What? I believed in you. This relationship is over, and that's what a stop loss is. Okay. So yeah, we're seeing plenty of movement. About 10 minutes left, and we'll go ahead and get on. But if you guys definitely check out the Discord. If you guys are gonna continue trading into the weekend, be careful. A lot of indecisive moves out here. We want to see those low flows be strong. And I know it's Freaky Friday, so we may get something that pops up at lunchtime. Something crazy just pops. But for me, I just have to. I like to do a lot of pre-market analysis. I want to see those levels set up. Now, I don't trust the pre-market data, but I do use the pre-market data as possibilities. Very low possibility plays, but I'm willing to play them if they come into play. But I'm more along the lines looking for support from previous days or previous months. If it comes into support like that, I am very interested. But yeah, as of now, Tesla is ripped all the way over the 201s, following the SPY. It's looking really nice. Oh, that's not the right thing. Looking really nice over the 201s, following that SPY off of that nice dip on the SPY, popping up into indecision. So I guess the question is, what will it do out of this indecision? A lot of Oh, and the SPY looks like it did a gap fill here. So the gap was up here to the 407. It filled that gap, so I'm wondering, will it get some reversal, or will it consolidate around this gap fill here of the 407 for a little bit? Why did Lyft drop so bad? Lyft, L-I-F-T, down 33%. What happened to this company? Lyft, a lot of news on today. Key bank downgrades Lyft to sector weight. Lyft stock tumbles further as Uber price war ramps up. Lyft and Uber having shootouts in the street. Okay. Hmm. Very interesting, but not something that I want to try to play. Okay, HILS. Are you gonna open up and slam? Come on, shorts. Put your feet down. Open this thing back up. Okay, so we have the 215 coming into play. What was those levels that I had? 265 above, 240, 215 was a level that's probably gonna get broken here. It's gonna get snapped in two. And then the next level is under the $2, 10K and 10K right at these in these 80 levels, and I'm not willing to play down there. I've only been taking 1,000 share trades. It's kind of allowing me to do a little bit more where I can take a trade and risk properly, but I can also get a good gain. So 10 cents being $100, I can get a good gain, just consistently, 5 cents, 10 cents, 15 cents. That's all I need, man. Well, I said 5 cents. 5 cents really not worth it to me. That's if it's only doing 5 cents, something didn't work out right with the calculations. I'm looking for 15, 20 cents. Like yesterday on HPCO, my biggest gain when I had my size in was 38 cents in profit. So I pretty much took a lot off and just was holding just a little bit and then went up another dollar. But I was like, oh well, I was holding my peace. But yeah, man, I'm really not in love with HILS anymore. It's too unpredictable. So as of this point, I don't see anything that I can possibly take money out of today. The true definition of a no trade day. And here are the rules. Hey, is this thing a low float? We went and checked and we saw that these things were low floats. How many outstanding shares are there and who's holding those outstanding shares? I want to see high um insider percentage holding. Like on Yahoo Finance over here, the insiders, when we went back and looked at CELZ, the one from the other day, they got manipulated so hard. Look at the institutional holding. And then today, HILS has way more insiders, which is kind of confusing why it's moving like it is. Over 50% held by the insiders, and very little should be little manipulation by institutions, right? But that's not what we're seeing on the boards. And then the other one was Expun. Expun institutional holdings very low. Insiders over 50. Still, we're not seeing it because the volume isn't there. We need those variables to be there. Volume and range and insider holding and catalyst. We need variables like that to all be there to be a quote unquote A plus setup. Expun going back up there as well, but again, like I was saying, it's got a little bit of range, just missing the volume, man. Hadn't even got 10 million shares traded yet. Got about 4 minutes left on the stream. Again, want to say appreciate all of you guys for tuning in for this Friday, I guess, recap slash market analysis. If you're going to continue trading today, be careful, be safe, have a great weekend. I don't know how much I'm going to be watching the market today because of what I've seen in the pre-market. Don't know if I want to waste my time looking at it, but I may come back and just kind of glimpse towards power hour or something like that. But usually Friday power hours are kind of dangerous, so we'll see. we'll see what happens. If I do see anything, I definitely drop it in the Discord. Um, check out the Discord. We're always having conversations in there, sharing trade ideas, sharing what we're seeing in the market. Different articles, news articles that are coming out that may affect us as traders. But yeah, that is it for today. Um, man, shout out everybody: Lori, Donnell, GD, Drifter, everybody that tuned in today. And yeah, that is it. And as always, another beautiful day to keep money in your pocket, play it safe, only get in when the market is too good to be true. It's like, man, I can't miss this. It's too good. I can't miss this. That's the kind of trades that I'm looking for. If I'm seeing trades that I'm like, well, this may, it's a 50-50, kind of like Xpun. It's a 50-50 indecisive. No, give me 60-40, give me 70-30, you know? But anyway, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.